Hello, everybody. Welcome to Profiling Evil Reacts. I'm Mike King, and I wanted to just take a moment and talk about the risks of online dating. Now, this video could trigger some uncomfortable memories for some of you, so discretion is advised. Recently, sheriff's deputies in Michigan arrested 45-year-old Trevor Double and charged him with aggravated assault, including using a dangerous weapon. Now, this predator is no stranger to the criminal justice system, having served time for manslaughter and other previous weapons charges. His victim was an unsuspecting woman that he met online through a dating app. Now, before we jump into things, would you just please take a moment and hit the like and the subscribe button? Subscribe to Profiling Evil. Ring the notification bell so that you get alerted when other videos like this one become available. So let's talk a little bit about this case. 24-year-old Kayla McCleary didn't think twice about putting her name on a dating app. In fact, she'd done it before and everything always seemed to work out all right. Well, before long, she was connected with a 45-year-old man named Trevor Double, who was charismatic and charming. This should have immediately put up some red flags, in my opinion. I mean, why are some people attracted to another one who's old enough to be their parent? And equally important, why is someone who's 45 years old attracted to somebody who's so young they could actually be his daughter? Well, apparently their first date was okay. A few days later, though, Trevor Double appears on her front porch, inviting her to breakfast. Well, I want to take a minute and let's watch a news report from WWMT Channel 3. Let's hear what happened in this case. So I want to just jump right into this video.
Michigan woman says a man she met on a dating app held her against her will for 3 weeks.
Pretty frightening story. And tonight, the Van Buren County man is facing 3 felony charges as a result. Tonight, News Channel 3's Mike Kravsik is live in Van Buren County to tell us, Mike, what the woman says really happened to her.
Yeah, Andy, Kayla McCleary says that she was waiting to be picked up on her second date by a guy by the name of Trevor Double. And then she didn't return home for another month. Detectives say she's lucky to be alive. We do want to warn you, some of the images you may see might be disturbing to some. A dating app connected 24-year-old Kayla McCleary to Trevor Double. McCleary says she talked to Double for weeks before their first date.
It went fine the first time, so I didn't think anything of it when he asked me to go to breakfast with him.
She tells me the 45-year-old showed up at her Battle Creek home unannounced for their...
I honestly don't know what his intention was.
For the next 3 weeks, investigators say Double held McCleary against her will at his Bloomingdale area home. Investigators say Double threatened to kill her and beat her on and off.
I was laying on the edge of his bed with my feet up, trying to block my face, and he was whacking me in the legs with it.
Police say at one point Double used a hatchet like a paddle to beat McCleary.
I remember a few times standing there when he was asleep and just questioning, like, should I run outside and try to get away? Like, what should I do?
McCleary says she was too scared to leave after trying to escape by jumping out of a moving vehicle.
I got scars from road rash all up my back from jumping out of a moving vehicle.
Then she tells me Double took her to the hospital.
I had 17 stitches in total.
There, police say she told hospital staff her life was in danger.
I told the doctor that I was like, please do not let me leave with him. I was like, I really think he's going to kill me.
Investigators say police tracked down Double at a Kalamazoo area hotel weeks later. Van Buren County prosecutors charged him with assault with intent to cause bodily damage and assault with a weapon.
I haven't been home since I left going to breakfast that one day. This whole thing has just been horrific.
Court records show Double was convicted of a 2004 manslaughter. He served about 9 years in prison. And according to police documents, Double was out on bond when he was accused of the assault. And he also had a personal protection order against someone unrelated to this case. Double is due back in court here in Van Buren County next week. Reporting live in Paw Paw, Mike Kravsik, News Channel 3.
Yeah, well, after 3 terrifying weeks, McCleary was able to escape after she was dropped off at an area hospital to get medical care for her leg, which had been seriously cut. Now, the woman was covered with bruises and abrasions. She told police that whenever she would say to Double that she wanted to go home, he would beat her even more. She said that he became more violent as the days passed and the frequency of the assaults increased. And again, as we saw, at one point, he actually beats her with a hatchet. Well, emergency room physicians reported her injuries to police, and they responded, getting Cleary's statement and arresting Double, who was charged with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder, and assault with a dangerous weapon. Now, he made his first appearance yesterday and is being held at the county jail on a $50,000 bond. You know, McCleary is frankly just very lucky to be alive, in my opinion. The nagging question that remains, without victim blaming again, is this. Are there things that McCleary could have done to reduce her level of risk, the level of being victimized while participating in online dating? And I believe the answer to this question is a resounding yes. Now, to answer the question, let's instead talk about what we can do to reduce our risk of potentially being victimized by an online predator. We've talked about trusting your instincts. Do it. Man, do it. If it doesn't feel right, take a breather. And please don't share any personal information with someone you've just met, especially if you're meeting online. Now, McCleary would later find out what a chameleon Double really is. This charismatic person she thought she was getting to know was an ex-con who had served time in prison for weapons violations and manslaughter. He was using a fake name at the time he was engaged in this online dating scam. He was going by the name of Alex James. She also learned after the fact that Double had a personal protective order out against him from another case that was pending in court. So once again, don't tell your new friends any of your private information. It's just none of their business. And if they're a professional scammer, they're going to manipulate and trick you into sharing the information so that they can use it coupled with other information about you to use against you. Now, while this new relationship might feel exciting, don't rush into the relationship. Take some time and get to know your new friend. Learn about their interests and their hobbies. Do a little cyber snooping on your own. And remember, if they seem too good to be true, they probably are. Now, if you go out and meet your new friend, do it in a public place with lots of people around. Something like a coffee shop or a restaurant. If you choose to meet at a bar or someplace that serves alcohol, make sure that you don't drink too much and that you're aware of your drink at all times. Tell your friends and family who you're going to go on the date with and where. That way, if you run into problems, there's a safety net and people know when to expect you. You might even consider texting a photograph of you with your new friend to do a selfie. And that just sends a message. Put everyone on notice, including the person you're meeting, that the two of you are together and you have a photo of it. And since I'm on the topic of family and friends, listen to them. Really consider their feelings about your new friend. Your personal judgment can get easily clouded when dealing with a charismatic personality. If your friends are warning you about something that they see in your new friend, listen to them. Be careful. In fact, take a break from the relationship and think it through. Now, folks, I'm not sharing all of this information to frighten you or to keep you from getting out and meeting people and having a good time. I hope that you find the right person, someone who has the same honorable intentions that you do. My goal is simply to empower you even more, knowing that you play a bigger role in your personal safety than you might think. So don't be a victim. Instead, take charge of your safety and enjoy getting to know other people, even if it's online. Now, I'd like to know your thoughts on the case we discussed today. What do you think this woman should have done in this case to reduce her own level of victimization? What were the red flags you noticed, and what advice would you give your best friend who's giving online dating a try. I'm going to be watching your comments down below. And thanks for watching Profiling Evil Reacts. I'll see you soon at the next crime scene.